Hello guys. This will be the first online class since we cannot have face-to-face class interactions. So I'm recording some of the stuff and trying to put it online. I hope this will be handy and useful to you. If you do not understand, you can always contact me through WeChat or other forms of communication. Uh, because we cannot waste time and then wait until the school gets open because we don't know when the school is going to be open since we are in the quarantine period. So I would like you to take serious note on this and then take this seriously. I'm going to basically I'm going to start with the slide. So then I'm going to explain some of the things here. Then there will be a follow-up activity. You'll have to work on some of the problems that is assigned on the PowerPoint slides. Once you are done, you need to write it in your notebook, take the picture and send it to me in WeChat so that I know that you have done it. The next thing is I'll be sending you a copy of worksheets which you need to fill up and then send me. I'll let you know when is the due date and you have to submit on time. Okay, that's how I'll be grading the process. And if you do not understand, you can always contact me through WeChat, then I can help you. Okay, to start with what we have left over from the semester 1, we did definite integral using Riemann sum, but we haven't gone into the rules of differentiation. So today we are going to look at definite integral rules and some of its problems. To start with, these are some of the learning out goals. Recognizing opportunity to apply knowledge of geometry and mathematical rules can simplify integrations. Basically, here the learning objectives would be calculate definite integral using areas and properties of definite integral. I don't want to waste time because I'm not sure whether I can upload this in WeChat, so I'll be very brief so you can go through all this. Okay. Now, the rules of differentiation, definite integral. The first one is order of operation. Order of operation is is an important thing in definite integral. Say for instance, you are integrating from b to a f of x dx, and if you want to reverse the integral a to b, you need to change the sign, minus sign. So integral of a to b, b to a of f of x dx can be written as minus of a to b of f of x dx. So you need to reverse the sign. Okay, so if you are changing the upper bound and lower bound, if you have the same thing in the lower bound and in the upper bound of x dx, your answer is 0. It's like going from -1 to +1, and if you think of a curve, it gets cancelled. Then constant multiple is you take out the constant number outside and then you integrate, like k times f of x dx can be written as k integral of a to a integral of a to b f of x dx. Similarly, if you are changing the sign, if you have a minus sign inside, you can take the minus sign and integrate the concept, the integral inside, integrand inside. Okay, now sum and difference is similar to what we have done in other properties. If you have something like integral of a to b f of x plus or minus g of x dx, this is a whole thing. You need to separate them before you apply the values. So you can write it as integral of f of x dx plus integral of a to b g of x, and you plug in the values whatever has been given. Now what is additivity? Additivity means you have integral of a to b f of x dx and b to c f of x dx. If you look at this one, you have the same constant. See, upper bound of the first one and the lower bound of the second one is same, which means it's a connection. There is a continuity here. So what you can write it, you can write this one as integral of a to c f of x dx. Okay, so if you have a to c, there is a b in between, you can separate them. That's what additivity integral. So these are basically the 5 rules that we'll be looking at. And the dominance things, we are not going to talk more on this one. As we go, I will let you know more on this later. Okay, for now you can just have a look and then we will go to the next slide. Now this is a summary of the rules that we have just studied. Remember the order operations, zero rules, constant multiplication, sum and difference, and additivity. These are 5 very important rules that you need to keep in mind. Okay, to start with some examples, let's start with. So you are given a function f of x from integral 2 to 6 dx equal to 10. The value is given as 10. And g of x from 2 to 6 g of x it's -2, and you are asked to find the following. But if you look at this one, this is not separated, so you use the property or you use the rule, so sum and difference rule. So what you can do is you basically write this one as integral 2 to 6 f of x dx plus integral g of x 2 to 6 g of x dx, and then once you have this value, this is how you will write. Okay, you can write this one, and you know the value of f of x is 10 and g of x is -2, so 10 plus minus is minus, so equal to 8. Simple, right? Can you want to try the second one? Okay, now I already have solved the problem, so you can just have a look at this one. So in this one, this is 2 to 6 g of x minus integral of 2 to 6 f of x dx. Okay, and you substitute the value. G of x is -2, and since it's minus here, this 10 comes from f of x value, so which will be -12. Now what do you do with this one? In this one, you basically take out 3 is a constant, so you take out 3 outside and substitute the value, and this is how your answer would look like. Take 3 outside, take the value, and then substitute the value. This value is already given, which is 10, so your answer is 3 times 10 is 30. Now the third one, if you separate this one, this will be integral 2 to 6 f of x dx plus integral 2 to 6 2 dx. Now for the first one, we know the value 10, but how about the second one? But if you remember the Riemann sum, and if you try to draw a curve for this one, this is y equal to 2, this is a function, and this is 2 to 6, so 2 to 6 is the difference here. So the difference between 2 to 6 is 4, that gives you the width, and the height is 2, and you know, using area of rectangle, you can get the area of this one, which is 8. 2 times 4 is 8, so you have the value, so the area under this curve is 8, and the value from 2 to 6 of f of x is given as 10, which is equal to 18. So this value is given, so you just substitute and your answer is 18. Okay, so this is basically what you do. So these are the 5 rules that we have applied. Now let's see. I would like you to try this one, this problem. Take a note of this problem. Integral 0 to 5 f of x dx 10, and 5 to 7 is given as 3 f of x dx. Now I would like you to solve this problem and write it on a notebook and submit to me for corrections. That's all for today. Once you submit those things, I'll give you the detail in WeChat, and once you have this, it will be followed by a worksheet which you need to complete in a day or two and submit again. Thank you. Have a good day.